Yes, indeed. Good morning at NTV. I'm Andrew Chama. Get on where you're listening and watching us from. I understand those are challenges to listen to us online, the ones in South Korea. Well, it has been rectified. Just restart your YouTube and you'll be in position to follow the conversations. Now, initiated by America's then President Barack Obama and the Young African Leaders Initiative through its Mandela Washington Fellowship and regional centers, they've been training some of Africa's change makers. And to help us understand why this is a must attend this year, we have Amy Patterson, the Cultural Affairs Officer at the U.S. Mission in Uganda, and Ida Bukbuza, a digital innovator who is an alumni of Yali. Now, to have this conversation, be a part of it, the hashtag is MonGadenTV. I'll pick your questions a little later and we'll be part of the conversation. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Andrew.
It's exciting to have you here today. How long have you been in Uganda?
So I've been here about 1 month, and I would just want to say I'm vaccinated, and so I'm going to take off my mask if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well, thank you so much for having me here.
What is your experience so far in Uganda? Are you finding it safe and sound? Are you having fun?
I love Uganda so far.
Nice.
People have been so welcoming. The country is beautiful.
Yes.
I got to take my first trip outside of Kampala. I went to Queen Elizabeth National Park.
Wow.
It is a gorgeous place. And really, the embassy has been so welcoming. And the best part of my job is I get to meet people like Ida, people that we work with.
Well, you're a digital innovator. I want to start with that. Digital innovator. What do you do exactly, Ida?
Well, thank you very much, Andrew, for having me. My name is Ida Bukubuza, and I'm a computer scientist by profession.
Nice.
And I do run an organization called Idea Gen and Technology Initiative, where we do empower more women and girls to partake on digital transformation initiatives and innovations in short. Innovation.
Yes. So that's what you do. How did you participate in the Yali Changer program and your work and direction? How do those two sync?
Well, like the Mandela Washington Fellowship or the entire Yali Network family is about leadership in all aspects of life. So this particular program does not limit anyone who is only thinking about elective positions, but rather in business and entrepreneurship. As a person, I feel like for us to go forward as tomorrow's leaders, we have to also engage in spaces like business leadership, digital leadership. So that's my journey to NSYNC with the Mandela Washington Fellowship, and I did that program in Western University in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
And also to highlight the fact that I did business and entrepreneurship there.
Wow. I mean, it's very exciting when you hear her, how she's speaking. I love the fact that she's passionate about women and digital.
Yes.
That's the future we were headed in, the next frontier. You're someone who deals with the culture affairs at the U.S. Mission here in Uganda. How best has the mission fused with our, cultures here, and how best can Ugandans tap into the opportunities that are there?
Great question, Andrew. And the U.S. really is investing in the next generation of Ugandan leaders through a range of programs that we're involved in. We have an over $1 billion assistance portfolio here, and we are working on building the human capital. And the Yali Mandela Washington Fellowship is one of those opportunities. This is a program that seeks to find the young leaders in a range of fields. As Aida mentioned, we have people that are in business leadership, in civil engagement, in public management, and we have artists, we have people in media, we have a range of applicants from Uganda's wide variety of experts applying to this program. And of course, women in technology is a key area to invest in. We see so much potential of not only the women in this country, but this younger generation and how they can bring innovation and leadership into the future of Uganda.
That makes sense. Ida, again, I want to tap into your experience. What was your experience like when you're going through this entire program?
Well, the experience is quite exhausting, but rewarding, I must say. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to be prepared. I think most of the times, and oftentimes people just think when they see you inside programs that it's just a snap. But you have to put in effort. So I come from Masaka. Actually, I was born and raised in Lukaya, a very peri-urban and cross-border town to, Masaka. So I did study there. Coming from a peri-urban and kind of rural area, and you do computer science in today's changing world of work.
It's not a normal.
It is normal in Kampala.
Yes.
But when you go just a few hours drive away from Kampala, it's totally different.
Yeah, true.
And a person who wants to change my community, to be part of where I come from, I needed to do something. So I did make the application. I did go through the very first time.
Same here. I've tried 3 times and I gave up.
However, I did the second time through mentorship, reading through the website, stories from people, alumni then, to share their experiences on how they made it to the, to the program. And I did do reapply, and the second time I got the shot and I got in. I shared about digital transformation, what I needed to do best to make sure that we can become better business leaders in today's changing world of work, which is the digital world.
Now that makes a lot of sense. Ami, so if someone like me wants to participate in this, or a Ugandan out in the void who would like to take part of this kind of program, how do you apply? Where do they go? How long does it take for you to get back to them?
So the basic requirements of applying to the Yali Mandela Washington Fellowship are you have to be a Ugandan citizen, living here in Uganda, a resident of Uganda as well. And then you have to be between the ages of 25 and 35. And we have a whole list of the specific requirements on our website. So you can visit either the U.S. Embassy's website or yali.state.gov to get the details. But what we're really looking for is somebody who has been a leader in their field, who has, in the past year, demonstrated accomplishments, and that they can share their vision for the future. So that you demonstrate both your past successes and what you see in the future. And how joining this program and joining this prestigious network of African leaders can improve not only the work that you're doing, but your whole country when you return.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. So anyone is eligible regardless whether they went to school or not, because most programs in Uganda there is a pedigree of whether your minimum education standard is either USCE or UCE or a degree, a fast degree, and all that.
No, great point. The Yali Mandela Washington Fellowship does not have an education requirement. You do have to speak English fluently because the program takes place at American universities. Participants that are selected will join one of 3 different leadership institutes, either in business and entrepreneurship, in civic engagement, or in public management. And those are hosted at U.S. universities. And so English is the primary language that we communicate across the Yali network. So that is an important requirement for the program, even though an education degree is not.
Now, that makes sense. Is there a funding opportunity if one is an entrepreneur and is rolling up for this kind of program, and how best can they galvanize the entrepreneurship skills and opportunities plugged within the program?
Great question, because we definitely want to support entrepreneurs and encourage them to participate in the Yali program. Yali itself does not provide funding to entrepreneurs, but once alumni of the Yali program returns here to Uganda, they may have access to different alumni activities, including potential applications for seed funding for their businesses. Ida, do you know of anybody that's received funding from different sources after the Yali Fellowship?
Yeah, myself.
Yeah. That's what I want to talk about. From I want you to walk us through from when you had just applied and when you went through the program, and after the program, the impact that has been cascaded down to the locals where you thrive.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew, for that wonderful question. Well, mainly, when I went through the program, it takes about 4 to 5 months for you to get the answer, because you have phases of, shortlist, then you go to the interviews until when you become a finalist, and then you go in the summer of the next year. So even just to recall, the applications for this year ends actually in about a week's time, 15th September.
September 15th.
Yeah, but it's not such a very big time. For someone who is a person who knows what they do best, you can still fill in this particular application. So when I came back, after the program, it takes 6 weeks. To do the normal program. If you're very extinguished leader, you have a chance to do what they call a PDE. And a PDE is like another extension, like an internship in the organization that you do prefer, let me say NTV in the US, so that you can experiment what they do best with their culture, the diversity, and you pick and unlearn and relearn and redo these things back home. So I returned home. I'll be very honest with you, I was devastated.
Oh dear.
I felt like so much pressure on me, not in a sense of pain,
but to deliver.
I felt like I have been sleeping. So there was so much pressure on me to deliver on pressure, make sure that I accomplished the things that I had learned in the 6 weeks, that I felt like they are going to change the rest of my life. And to just carry on, so a couple of years later, I joined different accelerator programs like the UNFPA with the Outbox Hub in Uganda, where we won $10,000 US seed grant to work on a digital health innovation.
Nice.
Yeah, and recently we just won Google. I think we are the only female Ugandan organization that won the Google Impact Amplifier.
Congrats.
About a month ago, and it's about another $10,000 to run out activities to talk about women in leadership, to make sure that digital advocacy is taken serious when it comes to women in leadership and women in media, about surveillance and censorship to women in media and politics.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the program.
So has this, I was waiting for the impact on the locals. Now this is on an organization scale, but the young women, the ones you're training, I want to hear, have they picked up in this? Have they understood it? Are they equally impacting the other communities on the other ground?
Just like I told you, I come from Masaka. So the kind of young women that we are training in these particular spaces to partake digital literacy are literally from Lukaya, Kalungu district, and Masaka, and we usually convene at Mapolif in Masaka.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is nice. The good thing, she comes from a region I so much equate myself with, and I want to really thank you because for doing this, especially reaching out. And where she comes from in Lukaya, it's a hot spot, especially for the girl child. I'm grateful that you actually picked that up. So how do you handle returning alumni now? That's something we need to, as we're winding this conversation, it's something I need to tap into. How do you handle them returning alumni?
So I'm so excited to talk about alumni because it is one of the best parts of my job, and I think one of the real prides of the U.S. Embassy is the alumni that have participated in our program. And one thing we really want to do as an embassy is to provide a platform for the alumni to network among themselves, to continue their professional development, and to support each other in the work that they are doing here in Uganda. And I have seen, just in my short time here, many alumni coming together, creating projects, finding seed funding, working to support each other's initiatives, and to advance their shared goal of building a better Uganda in the future.
That's nice.
Just yesterday I was talking to an alumni of the program who runs a disability rights organization. But she and some other alumni are also working to support environmental initiatives in refugee communities. And she met those alumni through the Mandela Washington Fellowship. So when I look at the Mandela Washington Fellowship, of course, I'm so proud of the 6 weeks in the United States and the professional opportunities that this group gets while in America. But where the real success happens is when they come back to Uganda and they use the network that they built through this YALI program to continue their successes here.
That makes a lot of sense. Finally, as we're winding this conversation, Ida, what could be your advice to the young innovators out in the diaspora or in Uganda who are not aware of these kind of opportunities, and how best can they tap into them?
Well, thank you, Andrew. I think we are in a life where access to information is becoming better.
That's true.
Internet is on our fingertips. So it's very unfortunate that many people use internet otherwise instead of for social good.
True.
So I would just commend young people out there to use the internet to search for such opportunities. The U.S. Mission website is always open, posting different opportunities, even other development partners within Uganda, not limiting only to the U.S. Embassy. There are very many universities in the U.S. that have scholarships where young people can actually advance. I will be going for another scholarship in, I think, a week's time, you know, to take on advanced another degree in digital information management. You can only allow yourself to grow when you allow yourself to take on these opportunities. They're not going to come knocking for you until when you do look for them. The internet is a very big resource that I want to commend many people to actually use it and check it out. Even Facebook, there is a page called Opportunity Desk. The American Resource Center is one of the biggest resources that we have, and it is free to access to the public. I think so. I mean, like people can always go to the American Center. Their internet is free. There is, for people in media, there are, you know, gadgets to use to record different things, podcasts, to learn and unlearn and help themselves reskill and retool a lot of things.
Well, there you have it. He actually makes she makes it much more elegant and very good, resourceful desk. That is the page you have to look for on Facebook, and look for the American Mission in Uganda. Tap into the opportunities that are there. You don't give up. Even if you've tried more than once like me, keep on trying. You'll actually get yours. Ami, as we're winding this, what is the deadline for this application for those who want to apply?
September 15th is the deadline for the Mandela Washington Fellowship. It's an online application. You can find it on the website. It does take time to fill out, so we encourage you spend some good time reading the questions, writing good essays, and really put some thought into the application. But if for some reason this year is not your year, there are many more opportunities to be involved with the YALI network. There are online courses, there's the regional leadership centers, and the U.S. Embassy has a host of other programs. As Ida mentioned, at the American Center on Gaba Road, we offer free education advising, resources to American English, and study opportunities, and a host of different programs to better your skills in science, technology, and math, entrepreneurship, and we encourage people to take advantage of those opportunities throughout the year. So if you miss this year's deadline of September 15th, there's always next year, and we hope to see more Ugandans applying.
Well, there you have it. Now you have the opportunity. It's a Wednesday morning. It rained today, possibly. It was telling us about the opportunities that are coming our way. So go to the website, and those on Facebook, look out for the U.S. mission in Uganda. Follow their pages on the different digital platforms. Apply for these opportunities. Guess what? The next frontier that is coming, it's only for those who are organized and prepared and plugged into the opportunities that are now. So look out for them, and then you apply. It's still morning at NTV. I'll take a break, and I'll be back shortly. Good morning.